Here is a quick video on how to set up your gradebook in Google Classroom so that you have the two major categories of formative and summative assessments. Formative assessments are things that you're giving the kids to check for understanding, like exit tickets, short quizzes, an essay, things like that. And a summative is an assessment or a project that shows that they have mastered the content. So that could be something like an end of unit test, an end of project, the exposition presentations for their learning. What you're going to do is go to grades and then go to settings. Scroll down to where you'll see things like this. Keep going and you'll see this here. I like to keep this on so that if there's any missing assignments, it defaults to 0. It's easy for the kids to see what they're missing, and it also is calculated into their grade. So if they see a low grade, they can check for missing assignments. Change this default from total points to weighted by category. Then what you're going to do is go to add grade category. When you click onto this, it's going to remind you that it needs to equal 100. So for your formative assignments, that's going to be worth 70% of their grade. Add another category, summative, that's going to be 30% of the grade. So ideally, if they're doing their classwork and homework and keeping up, they should do well. The tests and so forth are only worth 30% of their grade, again, just in case they're not very good test takers, or we just want to make sure that, they understand that the process is worth more than the end product. Then that is pretty much, you can change this to, you can show overall grade to the students so they can see exactly how they're doing, and then you press save. What this looks like is when you're creating an assignment, so let's go to classwork. I'm going to create a test assignment. Let's say we're doing an assignment. It's a summative. I'm just putting it there so we know, summative research project. So this is something like we've asked them to research a scientist. We've given them 2-3 weeks to get it done. This is their final product. You can put in your instructions if you want. What you then do is go over to the right, and where it says no category, you're going to click down and click summative. Now Google knows to grade it and put it into the summative category. What I usually do is with points, 100 points is a hefty assignment. Something that's worth 10 points is a quick exit ticket. So keep that in mind. And then once you hit assign, this project, when it's done, will then be calculated into the summative. You would do the same thing for formative. So going back into this, let's say I wanted this to be a in-class, really quick research project. I just wanted to see what they can do. I would change it to formative and maybe give them 10 points or ungrade it. All right, so if I do give it a grade, let's say 10 points for researching one fact, then I would change it to formative, press save, and now that particular assignment would be calculated in the formative part of their grade. Hope this helps.